Bring me up to speed on a couple of things. First of all, this memo that was released in somebody's handwriting that says get him to announce, what's his name can't remember his name now. Zelensky. Get Zelensky to announce that he's going to go after these guys. What is the memo story?
Yeah, from Lev Parnas. So this is one of the associates of Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
Some people are trying to blow this up, I think, into a little bit more than what it actually is. I've read through, there's WhatsApp messages, there's the memo. So basically, that whole thing right there, the memo was kind of all about the investigations and that whole thing, whatever. The WhatsApp messages, I think people are trying to blow up into an even bigger deal. Have you read those too?
Yeah, that they were interesting. The idea basically being, it seemed like Lev Parnas, this Giuliani associate, was at least somewhat involved in surveillance of the ambassador to Ukraine while, like, she's over at the embassy. It was stuff like that. And there's some sketchy messages that, I mean, it sounds like a movie mob hit. The messages, they're just like, if we get the price, we could take her out or something. It's not quite that direct,
Right.
But it's like almost that direct.
That's where they're taking it.
That's the way they're taking it. But we don't know any of the context. And also, there's no reason to believe this is connected to Giuliani or Trump 10 steps away from it, right? Like, Lev Parnas was a somewhat shady character. There's a good lesson to be learned to not get involved with shady characters.
Hang on just a sec. I've asked Rudy about that.
Yeah.
And Rudy said, I'm the guy who broke up the Gambino crime family. You don't think we were working with shady characters to break up the mob?
Exactly.
If you're going to break it up, the only ones that have information are shady characters. You just have to understand that going in.
That's it. Right. And so it might not look good, but I mean, and there may be another explanation, right? We don't have all the context of what was surrounding these messages. We just have, as usual with the Democrats, they release the stuff that looks really bad.
I've actually seen people like on social media saying that they were trying to set up a hit, just like you said.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any context there at all. That like even there's some weird. They're definitely monitoring her, but we have the context of what was actually going on in the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. We know the types of people that this ambassador was dealing with. We know who people like George Soros, a lot of those groups. I mean, they literally could have been just watching that, for instance. They could have been looking for a smoking gun on that.
Which is also, I mean, you look at it when President Trump said to Zelensky, I think you have some of the same people in your administration. No, we got rid of them all. No, I don't think you have. And we know this because he has cozied up now to George Soros. Because of one of the big players in his administration, which I think is the one that Donald Trump was talking about. So they could have just been doing that. I'm so tired of the half stories on all of this. So they're moving the impeachment, the articles of impeachment. It was a total failure for Nancy Pelosi trying to hold on. But is there any? Are they? They are going to have some sort of trial, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like right now they're going back and forth between if you're going to have these witnesses, if you're going to force a vote, which I heard was one possibility on every single witness. If you are going to do this, then we're going to start calling our witnesses. So they're almost doing like this mutually assured destruction. If you want this
Democrats, that's the thing. The Democrats cannot have real cross-examination. Yeah. They just can't. The Democrats have already blown their wad. Everything is gone. I mean, I don't think they held anything. There's no surprise coming with actual evidence. Maybe Bolton. I don't know. But they've already put everything in the kitchen sink into this thing. They would have used it at the impeachment, before the trial in the impeachment inquiry. They would have stood on that. So unless there's something new that they're getting new, there's nothing for them to be excited about.
I think there's a lot for us to be excited about in this scenario.
Oh,
and I think there's a lot of information that is going to come out in the very near future, specifically how Republicans are countering with, well, we have to, if you want to call these people, we have to get Hunter Biden up there. And they're trying to spin this, the left is and Democrats, saying, oh, they're just making this a sham. No, because again, we know that if you really want to understand the true nature of these investigations, and air quotes, it all goes through Hunter Biden. You have to know, but it's not for what they think. everyone is trying to spin this as, oh, Hunter Biden, because they're trying to knock out a political appointment. No, 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 no. If you want to truly understand the corruption, and how do I phrase this? Because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
let's switch it this way. Yesterday, the Democrats are now trying to make it look like Russia is running to the rescue again, and Russia is trying to hack into Burisma. Jason and I have a pretty good guess on what they are looking for.
Yeah.
And what they're looking for, I believe we have.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that we have it. I believe that there is a United States court that also has it right now. I think the information
That's new.
was.
I haven't talked to you for a few days. That's new.
I think the U.S. court has that information right now. It's in a state court, I believe. And I think that
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
they're sitting on the information. And I think that I think this information will come out before, if the Russians did be able to obtain it, I think it'll come out long before the election, which I hope it does, so they don't give them an excuse.
Oh, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to. We're going to release it, probably first or second week of February. We just want to make sure everything is buttoned up. This is an absolute smoking gun.
Explains everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you thought what we've already presented was pretty good, wait until you see this.
If you were on the fence about the phone call, about, okay, that sounds kind of bad, like I don't understand this, like you'll be fully on board at the end of this. The phone call will make complete and perfect sense. For holding up the military aid, everything makes sense.
Wait until I forgot about that piece.
Right.
Wait until you see what we have to show you.